We are privy to information that on the 31st January, the Supreme Court ruling is to continue and complete the targeting and prosecution of our leader, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and his colleague, Haj Obed Rutale. This judgment of Kabezuruka versus the Attorney General was parked and is coming out at this time to be used in court-martial to justify why Dr. Kizza Besigye must be tried in the court-martial in order to deny Dr. and Haji Rutale their constitutional right to refer their case to the civil court. The court martial, we've been told, that since then they've added on other issues that are not pertinent or relevant to the case that they are pronouncing themselves on. We believe this is to justify the continued prosecution or to build a scenario where then the court-martial will have the opportunity to fill in the gap by putting in the names of Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haj Obed Rutale family there. We also are aware that recently they introduced another person, a soldier, who they allege that he was part and parcel of the conspiracy to overthrow the government. But this particular soldier was never abducted, as far as we know, from Nairobi, neither to any of all those places that we know they have mentioned in Geneva and Greece and all other places where they allege that Dr. Besigye was plotting to overthrow the government. Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haj Rutale were abducted from Nairobi, where if there was a complaint, they should have been charged in Kenya and not extradited to Uganda. So we are very perplexed to see that the Supreme Court is coming in on the 31st to pronounce themselves and build a scenario where will allow, according to our sources, the court-martial to continue prosecuting our leader.
I think we are sending a warning to the Chief Justice that this is an embarrassment to the judiciary. Because if you're going to make a statement for purposes of aiding the court-martial to continue prosecuting an innocent man, then whatever happens to Dr. Besigye, you as Owinyo Doro will be personally held liable for what will happen to Dr. Besigye. His blood will be in your hands. And so we are saying that this conspiracy of coming up with a judgment that that the court-martial can handle a case where a retired officer is working with a serving soldier to overthrow a government after an amendment to charge sheet has been made is really an embarrassment to the judiciary, and so the judiciary really must come out clean, because this is an embarrassment to you as an institution. And so for me as a member of parliament, I am surprised that this is coming from the highest level, because the Supreme Court is the highest court in Uganda. I could understand it if it was coming from a lower court, But coming from that level, it is an embarrassment in this country.
From the information we have, the judgment that is going to be read by the Supreme Court on Friday will just be with some blanks. We are aware it is not directly affecting the court, the case of Dr. Chiza Besigye, but it has been choreographed at this time such that there may be blanks which are left, and those blanks will be filled with the Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye. And we are aware that in this judgment, for example, they are going to judge that the civilians will not be tried in the court martial. But they are going to judge at the same time that civilians who are collaborating with the army or security personnel will be prosecuted in the court martial. Now, that comes the scenario of Captain Ola. You see how the things are being choreographed? It comes now to the scenario of Captain Ola, who was now brought in the case of Chiza Besigye and Haj Obed Ritale later in the case. And that is what we are saying, that we already know the ruling. It is very unfortunate. The members of the Supreme Court have a chance to change this ruling. If they don't, the blood of Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye, because it is clear that the powers that be have said the tree is ready and they are going to hang him. But the blood of, I would not want the Supreme Court of Uganda to have the blood of Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye on their hands. Let the powers who want to hang Besigye hang him, but at least let them exonerate the Supreme Court. It will be a very sad event. The Supreme Court is accomplice to the powers that be that want to hang our leader, Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye.
Distinguished men and women of this country, Uganda, it's clear that we are in a year of politics. I am sure that we are alive to the fact that the case in which the leader, Dr. Chiza Besigye, is involved is just another political maneuver. This political maneuver only defines nothing but putting dirt to the system of politics in our country. I want to appeal to the Chief Justice and the entire legal fraternity, especially the judicial system, that shall we have a gift as the people of Uganda to maintain sanity, to maintain a legal system, to have our judiciary clean, so that people in Uganda can remain rejoicing that under the watch of the Chief Justice, that under the watch of the entire judicial fraternity, sanity was maintained and nobody accepted to be made an apparatus of political maneuver while you discharge your mandate.